You're listening to This British Life podcast, conversations with interesting people.
Okay, I forgot we were still... No, anyway. So Dave, how you doing, brother?
Very well, thank you very much.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for coming.
We wanted
Thanks for inviting me.
We wanted to talk to you about Soho, DJing. Mm-hmm. What did you say before? I'm going to just jump into it. Something about kayaking and DJing.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And I said, don't tell me anymore.
Was it a kayaking gig in Cyprus?
Yeah, so I went to Cyprus and I did kayaking, and then I was just going to do kayaking in the morning. And then the fella that owns the actual kayaking and the sports, he found me on the beach. He said, tomorrow morning, he says, do you know you're going out to do the sunrise? I went, yeah. He went to me, we've got a violinist coming.
I saw that.
And I went, yeah. He went, it's not 7, it's 8 o'clock. No, it weren't 6 originally, it's 7. I went, I get an hour lay in. Do you want to? I went, I'll have some of that all day long. So I went out and quite a few people turned up, and she went out on a little kayak, and then she played a few tracks. She had a monitor there and everything.
That's
she could play through it. You could hear it.
Yeah.
Reason to do it in the morning, sea's very calm.
Yeah.
Who they're playing to? Is an event?
No, she was just playing to people that wanted to turn up. The atmosphere.
The other kayakers.
And all the other kayakers, a couple of boats that turned up, and then someone went round with a stick, was filming, and...
How does the sound? What happens to the sound on water?
No, it was fine. She just had it sitting on top of the.
Yeah, as long as it's steady and it doesn't
and it was fine. It was
but I mean, as a more general thing, how does sound over water?
Over water.
Yeah,
don't sound any different.
Okay. No, doesn't echo more.
You go underwater, but I think do that.
Yeah, the sound underwater. I just wonder if it sort of sound. Would the sound bounce? Would it just sound like normal?
I think it'd be normal. Mate.
It just sounded high pitch. The high pitch travel. Does high pitch travel further? It does, doesn't it?
See, if you're underwater and you try and shout, it's really hard to shout or make a noise.
Right, yeah.
Because it's obviously...
And then the bubbles
like
go
sand
up,
and
then you hear the voice.
But it sounds like an amazing concept, though. So do they do that a lot then?
I don't know. It's just someone just come and said to me, it was when I was there, and they just said, do you want to be there? And I said, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Is Cyprus still a big DJ in...
See, I think I was speaking to someone over there. Ayia Napa used to be the garage, all about garage.
And
now,
is that in
apparently,
Cyprus?
Sorry?
Is that in Cyprus?
Yeah, in Cyprus, yeah. But now, apparently, I've been told it's turning a little bit, and it's housey stuff.
Oh, okay.
In Ayia Napa, but I've always known Ayia Napa to be garage.
Right,
back in the days.
Garage, oh, right.
Yeah, that's where it was.
Garage is not played as much.
No, not as much. But
so
a lot of them want the Afro beats and the
house,
yeah. They want the housey stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I went and I played some housey stuff and played some Afro beats and that, yeah.
How many countries do you think you've been to DJing?
DJing, not that many.
No.
Ibiza, Cyprus.
Oh, the main.
Just the main,
yeah. Still good though.
What's the third then on Ayia Napa? What's the other one you said?
Where he's been?
Yeah.
Ibiza.
Where would be the... Because you always hear them. Where would be the next one that's popular?
What, to DJ?
Yeah.
I'm trying to... Oh, do you know where the next one now everyone's going to? Croatia.
Oh.
That's the place, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been?
No, Glitterbox go out there.
Oh, that sounds great.
Ibiza take this Glitterbox record label, and they go out and it's all disco, funky stuff.
Right.
And they take it out there and they do it actually on a boat as well.
Oh, okay.
On a boat.
Nice.
That looks actually really cool.
So where are you from? Whereabouts in London you from? Oh, England you from?
Hackney boy, Stoke Newington.
Oh, okay. Where are you living now?
In a house, only joking. Sorry.
He also does stand-up on the weekends.
No, I live in Hampstead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a nice area.
Because we had a guy in there recently, a senior producer from the BBC, and he said he lived in Soho, and I thought, I've never heard of anybody who lives in Soho.
I know somebody who lives in Soho.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's a few little, if you go around the little, I think it's called Walker's Court, which is off of Dean Street, and there's another one, there's a few little apartments, and I know someone that lives on this street, Brewer Street. So you go down, do you remember the Snog ice cream shop in the corner, frozen yogurt?
Oh, yeah.
Go down Rupert Street, take the next left, he lives in a flat up there. Wow. There's about 4 flats.
Because I didn't want to be asked personal questions, but I thought, what are you, no, not you, of him. I want this, what are you getting for your money? Like what?
I think it'd be quite like...
Pokey.
Yeah, it would be pokey. And there's
but
another
the
one.
money you're going to pay for...
So do you know, what's the market? Broadwick Street Market?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, the market.
Is it the Food Street?
No, Broadwick. I should know this.
Broderick or something.
Yeah, Broadwick Street. Broadwick Street. Food market. So it's been there for since the 1700s. Yeah. It's changed. So back in the day, there was a Summerfield. supermarket. Now there's a co-op.
Summerfield, right?
Yeah, Summerfield.
Yeah.
They put flats.
Yeah,
There's a premium hub, not just a premium. They've gone, the hub's the next one up.
Yeah.
Apparently the hub, I don't know if you've seen them. The hub is just a room, and then you get your toilet and your shower all in the same room, and it's in like a glass box.
Yeah.
They compact it in, but it's actually it's meant to be better than
Yeah.
the normal premiums. But if you go at the top there's actually an apartment block at the top as well.
I just think it must be easier for bang for your buck. I mean, what you get?
But it'd be quite. You got to remember, it's going to be noisy. I mean,
everything's wrong.
I mean, you walk through Soho at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's thriving. It's like it's buzzing. Even at 6, come out the box, it's game over.
Yeah.
I wouldn't choose that.
So you've been at Groucho for a long time. So how long have you been at Groucho Club?
Groucho went there I went there just as a friend took me in just as a guest.
Yeah.
I think I might be 92.
Oh, they allow guests in there. I thought everybody had to be a member.
No, you can sign people in.
One plus
so
one.
I was a guest 92, 93, I think it was. Yeah, I know. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, I used to DJ at Jigsaw, menswear in Covent Garden. And my mate DJ'd there. And then I remember going around his house and knocking on his door and his mum said he's in Groucho in like Soho.
Yeah.
Now, I'd been there before, but I wasn't sure how to get there.
Yeah.
How I got there, went to reception, walked in. I said, I'm looking for Kevin. Yeah, he's out back. Went down the back, walked in there just to go and see him. As I walked in, he's gone like that. You're on in a minute. And I looked at him and went, I've got no records, no vinyl.
No.
Next thing you know, he said, no, I've got my records. Yeah, cool. Anyway, he stood back. I've gone on. It's like a pair of Dr. Martens in a tumble dryer. It was like, clangy a bit. But anyway, so I did that. And then next thing you know, I got another one.
Did he set it up for you?
Set what
Did
up?
he set that gig up for you?
No, he just he was doing it as well, and I just went in and
okay.
he asked me to help, and we just done it together, and we just done it for forever and a day, and just kept going.
So what have they got in there? Is it like a bar club?
So it's a members club, so it's different rooms. So you've got your function rooms, you've got restaurants. But when I started there, upstairs was a function room, and you really didn't have a DJ at night to play for the members. It was just a function room, and that was all you got. Downstairs was just the brasserie, they called it.
Yeah.
Just the restaurant. But if someone wanted to hire out, they'd shift all the tables out. They'd bring in the 12-10 techniques.
So there's a lot of hiring of the places there.
Yeah, there's quite a lot. A lot of people in the industry will come in and hire and have events in there. There's loads of that.
But there's a bar area.
There's 4 bar areas.
How many floors are there?
You want to be a member?
One,
It doesn't look that big from
two.
there.
No, it's like anything. I mean, you go into the other establishments in Soho.
Basically just wants an
You walk-
invite.
TARDIS.
You walk
Just
in.
opens up.
Now you walk in. Now I remember going to the first, the Soho House on Greek Street.
Yeah.
The others weren't here. And I remember walking in there, and I think, oh, this is quite, snazzy. It's nice and small. You go in there, and I think, where do they get this space from?
Yeah.
because it's like it's corridors, it's stairs, it's
Yeah.
this level, that level, and you think, where do they?
So
get
which
this
one
space
was around first? Do you know if it was Soho House
from? It was
or Groucho?
Oh, Groucho was around first.
oh, right.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Groucho.
okay.
Black's has been about a while. There's another members club on, but you wouldn't even know it's there. It's on.
And
Dean Street.
Groucho's more media publishing.
Yeah, media, publicity,
It's like Soho House
TV.
though, isn't
yeah, but
it?
Soho House has
Yeah.
got that concept as well. And if you go to Soho House, I mean, I work at Farmhouse, and if you go there, you want to speak
Yeah.
to people, maybe in the industry.
Yeah.
And what do you do, mate? I'm in retail, or I'm in.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I've been there. I'm not in retail, but I've been there.
Or
yeah.
I'm in. I work at Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
I've been moved out here, and I can work from home. Oh, cool. Great, do you know what I mean?
Because the only thing I know about the Groucho was when I was listening to the audiobooks of Stephen Fry and what used to go on there,
Yeah,
including him
it's-
getting thrown out. Has it calmed down a bit, or is it still? It has, right? It's still
Like
not.
anything, isn't it? It's not.
I bet you've seen some great things in there.
No comment.
Can you have
Tell
mobile
us,
phones in there?
There's a certain time you can't have a mobile phone.
Yeah, I
on.
thought I
But it's
read
like-
that.
But that's the same with most members clubs. If you
Right,
go to
yeah,
any
yeah,
of them,
yeah.
Union
You're
Club,
right.
they're all the same. You
yeah.
can't. There's the rules, and you've got to respect it.
So
haven't
if you want to, do you mean you can't be on your phone or you can't like
you just
call
can't
a
make
cab?
no.
or...
You go outside and do that.
Oh, okay.
Which I think's
No, that's fair enough.
I'd have them
Yeah.
handed in if it was up to me. I'd put them in a bag and hand
Ban
them.
the
Don't need it.
phones.
But people will go there, and obviously they're in industry, so they want peace, want somewhere to go, and that's what it was born to do.
Yeah.
Just to go there, get away from the hustle and bustle. I mean, obviously, when them things opened up, there's no mobile phones, but
Yeah.
now,
No.
but obviously, you can take your laptop and do some work.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
make
Do they ban the laptops? as
No, you
well?
can use them at a certain time. But
Oh,
it's like
okay.
anyway, it's same as all the other members clubs. You just go in, there'll be rules, and it will say.
Yeah.
And you go into where is it, Soho House on the beer mats. It's got a big picture of a phone and then a big
Just in
line
case-
for it.
just in case you
say,
forgot.
do you know what I mean?
Just in case
So-
you can't read, just for the dyslexics.
But it's like anything, isn't it? Things have changed
Yeah,
through
yeah.
the years through Soho.
And do you what type of music do you play?
So I tend to do house,
Right.
old school house, disco, funky stuff.
Yeah. Soulful. House.
Soulful house, yes, go down that avenue. Hip hop, But we go right back to the old school hip hop,
Yeah.
Jello Soul style.
Yeah.
And I do like a lot of re-edits. And when I say re-edits, see some re-edits, people will get the track, they'll strip it down, and then you might just hear one word. Oh, I know that song.
Right.
Whereas I'll get a re-edit, they've stripped the whole track down, but it's got the original vocal.
Right. Oh,
So it's got the
Takes
so you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a Luther Vandross, Never Too Much.
Yeah.
It's him singing it, and
Yeah.
and then and I like that. It's whereas some people might just play a remix. And it's got one little sound of a piano or
Yeah,
or
what's the
got
difference
all the
between an
lyrics
edit and
to
a
it.
remix?
So the remix would be they're virtually the same.
Yeah.
So the remix would be virtually I don't know. They'd come in and remix the whole track from start to finish, and they'd edit little bits out of it.
Oh, it's
and
put pieces.
Yeah, put the pieces back in
right.
as they
So
go
are you
along.
saying you've got the whole vocal for the track?
But if I only try and that's what I try and do. I'll
Yeah.
try and get because you've got to remember some. I mean, where was I? When I was in Cyprus, you go to some hotels there. They'll play some music, but they can't play the originals. They've got to play edits, but they're someone else singing them because apparently there's a copyright or something.
Yeah,
They can't.
yeah.
So you look on it. I know this track. Tina, say for example, Tina Turner's Simply the Best, but it ain't her singing. It's someone else.
Yeah.
But they've made it into an Afrobeat, chilled out track.
Yeah.
Whereas I'll try and find Tina Turner, Hassy, not too hard, can't go too hard. 120, maybe 125 BPM, beats per minute. Where some people might want to do the proper techno-y and do one.
So do you have to be careful with that then? So if they can't play the original artist, do you have to be a bit
Well, I can
mindful?
play the original. But,
you can?
Yeah, but it's obviously some bars, I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah,
but
They don't have a license or something.
I'll play, but that's what I like to play that. I like to keep the original vocals because then people can associate to it. And then they know what they're
and they
getting.
get excited as well because they're like, this
you
is
can
my
go somewhere,
favourite. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a track that was, I don't know, something that was mainstream. Say, Live in Joy, I'm a Dreamer. You might just hear, I'm a dreamer, I'm a dreamer. And then and that would be it.
It's that anticipation.
Yeah, exactly.
When you know
And
the
but
tracks
then that's all
come.
they can put in because they can't put no else in because they haven't been given the rights to do the remix or re-edit. So you'll just get, I'm a dreamer, whatever.
Did you ever go away from records, or did it always just hold
So
on?
I started vinyl.
Yeah.
And then it went from vinyl to, I remember the first time I saw the CD.
Yeah.
It was a Denon, they're called Denon.
Denon, yeah.
And it was in Soho Square, Soho Street, a club called Pop.
Yeah.
And that was way back. And I remember walking in there, I played my vinyl. As I was leaving, some girl had turned up and I said, oh, you're doing the vinyl? She went, no. And she just pushed the Denon and the drawers popped out. I went, no, that's not DJing. And she'd used the CDs and they were the first, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
And then later on, Pioneer. But then Pioneer might have been before that, I'm not sure. But I only ever saw Denon.
Yeah.
And then Pioneer came in and I think Pioneer definitely the leaders now in the CDJ world and the technology, because you can link your laptop to it. You can...
But it's all pre-done then, isn't it, with a CD?
So, no, because you can get the CDs so the CDJ, you can have the new ones now, the 3000s, there's no CD drawer in it. But say the 2000 Nexus 2s, there's a CD drawer.
Yeah.
You just push the CD and you can, but they used to call it burn, didn't they?
Yeah.
You can burn your CD with one track. So you can just do individual tracks,
right, okay.
push them into the drawer, they'll come up as the list and you can still mix them like records.
Yeah.
Or you can preload them and then have them all. Then just push a button and then there you go.
With the changes with like vinyl, CD, laptop, do you have to like retrain every time?
Do you know what? I went from vinyl, and then I don't like laptop. Reason being is, first thing is, you could turn up in a gig with a laptop. They see the laptop, and it's like, have you got no? And it's like, pull the phone out. I haven't got that. Well, you got your laptop.
Oh.
I don't, and they think you work with a laptop. And also with a laptop, you can preload it and mix it, push a button, and
Looks like you're not doing any work.
Exactly. I do the USBs, slot them in. You've got two modes. You've got your CDJ mode, which is basically syncing it. You just push the button, it syncs it for you. Or I use the vinyl mode. So that wheel there, jockey wheel or platter, what you want to call it. If I touch it, it stops like a vinyl. If I push it, it will go fast, spin it back. So you're getting that.
What's it called?
feel.
A jockey wheel?
A jockey wheel or platter. There's different names for them. So that's what I try and do. I do that all the time. It's on the vinyl mode.
Yeah.
Because then the pitch controls like on the 1210 techniques.
Do you have any preference for any type of music? Like the top three tend to be...
I really like funky house.
Yeah.
I like old school house. Yeah. And I suppose I could take, there's a third choice, I do like a bit of old soul-y stuff like the Studio 54. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Really funky because there's some really good tracks.
Great choices, by the way.
Thank you.
What were the best... Hang on, when did you work at Groucho?
I think it was 90.
How old are you?
Say
I
92.
can't say my age.
I was going to say,
You've been in the industry
we don't
for a
know
while.
that. We can't be. It's about in his teens.
No, I'm not. It's about so.
Oh, go on. Right, there, go. It's just, I just thought, hang on, the
Putting him
maths
on the
don't work
spot
there.
now.
Go on.
No, I went as my friend took me in as a guest in like 92, 93.
Yeah,
so
but you must have been. You must have been over 18. I'm
oh,
assuming.
of course I was. I was in my
Well,
20s.
I thought you were younger. I mean, it's a compliment. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
you can't
yeah.
be.
That is a
He's talking like he's. I'm thinking, hang on. That doesn't
And then I
Well,
went
he's
as a,
about
went
92.
went as
so.
a guest in there as a friend signed me in, and then and then I went in and started DJing. I think 95, 96. Like
Yeah.
I'd been going in before that, and
Do they still do the guesting? Like sign somebody in?
yeah, I can sign someone.
Oh,
in.
nice.
Yeah,
You
when I was in there
yeah.
before I come here.
Oh, okay.
I only popped in to have something to eat because I was a bit peckish. I had a bar snack.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So
So,
it's
did,
only
did you come from work?
I went,
here?
yeah, just straight here,
To here.
yeah, to support it. Yeah.
So you've been in Soho a long time.
Yeah, so about, just
Do you know what? I don't want to knock the place. I dropped my car. I was here the other night, about 11 o'clock at night. I was doing some stuff and I left and I got in the car and I just brought my card and it obviously fell out of my pocket. I was 3 streets away. I got in the car. I was probably in the car for about a minute and I drove away 3 streets and something popped up on my phone. Somebody entered the pin 3 times wrong.
really?
It was like Smoker's Paradise or
Joking.
something. And I thought,
5 minutes.
I understood the nicky, but I thought, I've just round the corner. They tried to
Yeah.
buy some.
That's the problem with your.
Yeah, you can touch it.
Yeah, but the contactless works. I think it's either 7 or 11 touches. Then after that, it'll ask you to type your password in.
Yeah, no, he
Oh,
would
okay.
have got away with it, but I
was
think they
gonna
put
say,
in
isn't-
170 for the first one, and
Oh,
they said,
nice.
no, you've got to put a card. Then
Yeah.
he put the pin in as wrong, and then it's blocked.
Okay, so you didn't lose any money then?
No, but I was fairly new here, and I just thought, oh, leave me alone. Let me get my foot under the door before they start robbing me. So I would just say the crime of Soho. But what have you?
No crime in Soho.
What have you noticed more? Was there more clubs? Was there
So
more?
basically, back in the day, there's more dirty clubs, more. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It was, I don't know. It was,
Mine was much more seedy, but you had
yeah, it's
did
more
the
seedy,
neon
yeah,
light
it's more
peep
seedy,
shows and
the
all
peep
that.
shows and that, and it's
Yeah.
obviously calmed down a bit now, and
Yeah.
obviously you had your sex shops, but you still got your area where you can walk, like if you walk up facing Rupert Street, where the what's that? Near the box, if anyone
Right.
knows where the box is, along that bit there, that was back in the day. That was like proper seedy.
Yeah.
'Cause I used to call it seedy Soho.
Right, yeah.
But that was proper seedy around there. But it's calmed down a little bit now.
Yeah, it feels like it's kind of been condensed into
Yeah,
certain roads,
certain,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Because there was a nightclub I used to go to. If we'd finished work, we'd go to. It was just off of Charing Cross Road on Andrew Border Street, and it was called Dirtbox. And it was just
Tell
a
us
doorway,
more.
and it was just just around the back of Andrew Border Street, Denmark Street, Tim Pan Alley for them who know the music shops to get your keyboards and your guitars and that. Just on the side there was just a white door, and you walked up these spiral stairs. Who's coming to Dirtbox? Who's coming to Dirtbox? And it was just went on for chat main.
So was it good there then?
Yeah, it was all right in there. Yeah, it was
Yeah?
cool. Yeah, it was just a late drink, really. I think that's what people want inside. They want a late drink.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I've been out on a Sunday a few times recently, and you're walking around. Where can you go? Where can you go?
Yeah.
If the members bars are closed, where can you go? And you're trying to, let's go Trish's or let's go to Jerry's, you know. But they're like Sundays, they're maybe not open.
Yeah, it's funny because when I come here on a Sunday morning, sometimes I get here really early and I see people walking. I'm thinking, are they just coming back from
Just
The
somewhere?
walk of shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sunday morning.
Do you go out much around here?
A little bit, not a lot.
Can you
Is the
enjoy?
novelty kind of gone?
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Back in the day, it's weird. When I started, it was the vinyl, and I had to have a drink to calm the nerves. And the old needy was doing that.
Right.
So I had to have a drink. And then I got to a stage where after, I don't know, 5-6 years, it was like, do you know what? I just want to get out of here. What are you drinking? Water. Lemon and water. Drink.
Yeah.
The club used to close at 1, the Groucho. She'd be like that, clock watching.
You used to close at 1.
1 o'clock, she'd be like that, 1 o'clock. Once 1 o'clock come, that was
Yeah.
it. Done.
Yeah.
I drank water and I'd drive home back to Stokey. I'm
What about
finished.
now? Can you go to a club or a bar? It's just
Well, there is places where maybe you have to broaden your horizon a
Yeah.
little bit out of Soho to go maybe a bit further away.
Yeah.
There is places that would be open, but I tend to just do the gig
Yeah.
and go.
Go.
I don't know.
because I work.
You said you did about 6 years of staying.
Oh yeah,
and
stayed out and done the drinking and went.
You know, going out after.
yeah,
as
going
well.
out after and then marching in at like 6
Yeah.
in the morning and then.
But you have
sleep.
to draw a line, don't you? Because it's like
That
that's
horrible
that's your
light,
everyday,
that
isn't
morning
it?
light,
Yeah, I mean,
grey.
it's
Yeah.
then, I can't be doing
Do you go out much to the clubbing or whatever?
And not as much.
What was the
no.
last nightclub you queued up and paid to go in?
Oh God, I was quite against queuing up and paying for nightclubs.
The queuing up bit or the nightclub bit?
Oh, both. But
when's the last time you went into a nightclub, the music hit you as you walked in, that sort of place? Not a bar.
Do you know
that
what?
long ago?
No, there's quite a lot of places, but I'm just thinking the first thing that pops into my mind, I don't even know if I should say where it is.
Say it.
But there's a club in Clapham.
Yeah.
And I used to know the person who owned the bar. So I just used to walk in there, and that was cool because that could have been a queue with a, No,
but I mean, you've gone on a night out for nightclubs recently?
No, more bars.
Bars,
More
it's
I'd
funny,
say.
you get to that point where you want to talk to people.
Yeah, I did the clubs with the cocktail jacket, which was no jacket because you just have a drink and you stay warm because you've had a drink. But now I'm like, where's my coat? So I'm more of a bar person now, to be honest.
Yeah, I prefer a bar than a club.
It's talking. You want to talk.
Yeah.
There's no point standing there.
I'm trying to think of a club in Soho that I'd go to. I mean, sometimes I go to Jerry's after work because that's something a little bit later after the Groucho.
Is Jerry's like a private members club?
Yeah, that's another private.
Okay.
But you walk down the stairs. That's been there forever and a day.
So do you know quite a few private members bars
quite
around
few,
here?
Yeah, around here, yeah. There's a few. There's a few that's popped up. You got the Union. That's a good little members club. Obviously, you got your Soho House.
Yeah. Do you work in the Soho House in Soho or just the farmhouse?
I've done a couple, but my main one is the farmhouse.
Oh, okay.
Which is obviously
a bit further away.
From.
Yeah.
I had a meeting about 10 years ago about the magazine, and it was a female editor of a main newspaper. And when I turned up, it was St James Square, something. Not a music place, like a bar.
Where, in Soho?
No. It's on St James. It's like
St James's Place?
Yes, that rings a bell. It's like a square. And there's a private, but it's like a restaurant more than a club thing because people have meetings there, and I recognise
in London.
Yeah. It was St James something anyway, and it was like a restaurant more. And a woman turned up. So this woman worked in the area, and she was very posh. Like I said, she was an editor of a main magazine, newspaper. I don't want to say what it was. And somebody and I recognised a politician. It was that sort of place. It's not a party place. And a woman turned up, and she got out of a car, and a big fur jacket on, and I thought, that's got to be real. Like, she's actually got to be wearing a big fur jacket. Like, not Cruella de Vil size, but big enough I thought, there's no way that's not real. And I hadn't really seen one. I've probably seen, clubs where fake,
Yeah.
But I thought, she's going in there, it's big, that's got to be a proper fur jacket. And I thought it seemed so out of date. It just seemed like so antiquated. I was like, I'd forgotten people are so in their own little world that they can get rid going from limo to big house that you can get away with wearing a big fur coat.
Furry coat.
Oh.
So it must have been real, but I thought, that was like 20 years ago. I wouldn't even dare put something like that on.
Oh no, people still do.
Yeah, they will do.
They do, yeah.
But don't you get sort of paint thrown at you?
Probably, but
but then you can get ones that look just like the real thing.
But that's what I was thinking about. That I thought, no, that's got to be real because it's not worth the grief.
Yeah, but she's probably going to get into a nice car and not have to walk anywhere.
Well, this is my thing. It's like politicians, why they don't. You lose touch after a while because if you're just going from university to parliament to limo to big house back to parliament back, you don't have to abide by normal.
Yeah.
You're not going to get somebody to go
mingle with the communists.
You're not going to get somebody call you a name because you don't associate with people.
Yeah.
And this is why America is much bigger problem because at least with English politicians, you've sort of got to be in, Islington and you're still, whereas you're in America, you're in big gated communities in mansions and you're worth 200 million and you don't go to the supermarket, your feet do not touch the floor, you don't pick the kids up from school. So you end up basically living in the clouds. Like you're talking about people, but you don't have any association, or at least in London, you've still got to live. Like you've still got to maybe pop into a shop or, let's say half of them live in Islington. So you've still got to sit in traffic. Whereas they are just, when you're worth 200-300 million, they're politicians, you ain't seeing no one. Right, getting off the politics there. I nearly brought Trump came, something about Trump. I thought, no, move on.
Let's talk about Soho.
Yeah.
Back to Soho.
Has it got better or worse?
Soho?
Yeah. It's lost the seedy stuff.
If you like the seedy, then obviously someone would say it's got worse because obviously they want to keep out what it was before. So everything changes, doesn't it, as you go along? Like I said, Dirtbox was the CD club and all the other CD. There's a little bit, if you go back, say 20 years ago, maybe DJing in a CD club. Now it's Soho Food Festival. In St Anne's Garden.
Is the Stringfellows still there?
Stringfellows
Because there's two. One open.
No, the one on Wardour Street.
What was the main one?
The one in
Leicester Square.
Upper St Martin's Lane.
don't
That's still there.
The main one.
The main one's still there. Then he opened one up called Angels on Wardour.
Yeah.
That is now called Simmons.
Oh, okay.
That's just a bar that until 3 a.m. But they're dotted all over Soho, aren't they?
Yeah.
You got Simmons and what's the other one? Be@1 or Bar One?
Yeah, Be@1.
Be@1.
Yeah.
So they're the main ones that like up until 3 and.
And who was the fellow that owns Stringfellow?
It was Mr. Peter Stringfellow.
Is he still there?
No, he passed away, bless him.
Oh, how long ago?
I'm not sure. I know he passed away quite a while.
And
I don't think he knows him personally.
No, but I thought it's not a big area. I wonder who owns it now. Do you know who owns it?
I ain't got a clue. Maybe the family have took it on, but it's still going apparently. But I know the one in Wardour, that didn't last very long. That's like...
Yeah, because my friend was a doorman in there for years.
Really?
He was always trying to get me to go in. He said they've opened one up over the road. I thought, why would you do that?
Yeah.
He said, well, some nights is really busy, so they just want to spill over.
Also with Soho, I find obviously there's been a lot of development going on. You can see the development changing. I mean, because if you go Brewer Street, I used to DJ in a bar just up here on the left-hand side called Titanic.
Yeah.
And now it's obviously, you got your Rafa cycle shop, you got your third space, but the actual entrance to Titanic was there. But it was around the other side of it was the Atlantic Bar, which was a well-known bar, restaurant.
I suppose the licensing stuff, you've got to be so careful now that it's just, they don't need, the local government don't need the grief, do they, of a bar?
Westminster are quite hot on it now.
Yeah.
They're really hot on it because you have the sound patrol, the sound police, what you want to call them. They'll come round and they're blitz there, they're proper. And they look into obviously the sound.
So do they stand outside the venues?
Well, they'll go
and
walking around with
test
testing and also like places to be well lit up. They want it to be dark. They want because obviously health and safety. So I walk into a bar and fall down. First thing I'm going to say is
that's crazy.
I can't see the steps.
And do you know what I mean?
So they've got to make sure there's loads of laws that have brought in to make it like, you know.
Do you not think that when you walk around Soho, there's lots of dark, dim.
There are still a little
bars.
Things. Yeah.
Like some of them look like they're in the darkness, to be honest. So
some you can walk past places unless there's a doorman outside, you wouldn't notice.
Yeah, I think sometimes you can walk through Soho at like say 3 o'clock. I think things start quieting down unless you know where the bar is. It's open late. Obviously. Other than that, if you didn't know, you'd be walking around. I mean, I've walked out of wherever I've been. Can we get a get a drink? Can we get a drink? And they'll want to know somewhere, and I'll go, well, try that or go up there. But other than that, it's 3 or 4 o'clock. If you don't know nowhere,
gets quiet.
What time's the Groucho close now?
2.
Okay. So in terms of like the people that used to, that go there now, in the in the 90s, noughties, did you find like you had regular groups of people?
There's regular groups of
that would
people
always come out.
That was there. You could go there and the night would have been like you go your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday would be your main night. It's weird because on a Friday, in any members club, Groucho or anywhere, on a Friday it's usually just a member with a friend. Mm-hmm. No disrespect, they come out of a 9 to 5 job. Thursday was the night you go in there and it would have been, you would have seen somebody if you want to see somebody.
Yeah.
Whereas Friday, it's a case of, it's more quieter.
Oh, really?
But,
Saturday? Same sort of thing.
Same. Saturday's usually, it's like anywhere. People's always said it, come up the West End or go anywhere in the West End or Soho. Thursday's your new Friday or Thursday's your new Saturday. Yeah. Thursday night's the night to go out.
Was it you, Kerem? I think Kerem told me. I hadn't been up here on a Thursday for a while, and I thought, what are these people out here?
Yes.
He said, no, they've all...
I prefer Thursday in Soho. I've always have preferred a Thursday in Soho.
It's funny that.
Do you think there's a lot of like tourists that are coming to
I think there's a few, because people still associate with the sex and the seediness, so they'll come and they'll...
Just to visit
and to check it all out and, great, I've gone to a...
I always wanted, my friend of mine was a head doorman. He was a doorman at Stringfellas in Hippodrome. He was there for years. Did you ever go there? Because I always wanted
to. Hippodrome is open 24 hours. And it's
a club?
As a club. And
it's not there now. It's not a club now, is it?
What, the
Isn't it a
casino?
Hippodrome.
I'm getting... Show me age, Jana. The Hippodrome is now, what's it called?
It's a casino.
Casino, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's open 24 hours. So you can get drink and alcohol 24 hours.
Oh, so you can get alcohol.
You can go in there 21,
And it's a members' place.
I think it's a members, but
like 5.
It's got a checklist of all the places it's going to.
And then you've got the other
Soho
casino in the square. What's the other one called? Because I couldn't get into that one, and I went into the other one, and I signed up to be a member, and I went in.
Why couldn't you get in the other one?
Because I think they were full up, or you had to ring the office or email the office, and it didn't happen. I'm trying to think. What's the other one in the square called? Help. No.
In Leicester Square.
In Leicester Square, there's another one there. I can't remember. But anyway.
Yeah, but do you know, when did that close down, Hippodrome, as a nightclub?
That's the one that had the moving floor, didn't it?
Yeah, did it really?
The moving floor, yeah.
Oh, no.
What was that programme they used to, on a Saturday night?
Yeah, so it rings a bell now. Because a friend was there for a long time. He was a doorman there, like 10 years or something. Because he used to work with Lenny McLean. If you remember that name.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So if anybody doesn't know, Lenny McLean was like the toughest man in Britain. But I used to make him retell me stories about working with Lenny McLean, because all them doormen up there, they're top doormen.
The doorman will give you a story. I mean,
he said there was Lenny McLean and then everyone else. There was no second to Lenny. And the stories he used to tell me, he said, imagine...
maybe you should get him on the podcast.
Who?
Your doorman friend.
Oh, no, he does. My best friend, he died years ago, but he was a doorman there. But he was a doorman for me when I was working in Watford. But he worked in Stringfellas as well on the weekends.
Yeah.
Destiny's anyway.
No, don't know.
Paradise Lost anyway. Okay,
I can't remember the names. No, I had more trouble with the doorman up there. More front. Oh, well, getting into scary stuff. But yeah, the stories he used to tell me, Lenny, I was thinking, I used to go to him, bollocks. That's not true. And he used to tell me again, thinking, Jesus Christ. Like when Lenny McLean, if anyone knows the name, it was funny. The stories he used to tell me, it was just absolutely, the guy was like, he used to say to me, imagine the Hulk with a child's brain. He said, that's how careful you had to be around him. You could not. And he said, we were all top doormen and you were like a child around. You had to be careful what you said, and he would go off on anything and you couldn't say it. And he beat loads of doormen up and he would tell me why, and people that he knew, I was mortified, and he would talk just like with kids. He said, I heard him shout at the police once because I don't get into it, but somebody hit somebody, then somebody hit somebody else, and they turned into a brawl. And then all the police turned up and all that, and Lenny used to just sit inside eating Chinese, and never used to actually be on the door. And he said, then Lenny must have heard something, and he come out and he booted the door open and he screamed at everyone. He said the police and everyone froze, and the guy went up to Lenny and he said, Lenny, we've got to take your doorman away, he's done something. And he went, no, I'll sort him out, don't worry about that. And he said, he called me Jay. He said, Jay, I was right there. And he went, Lenny, he's belted somebody, we've got to take him away. And he went to him, listen, I'm Lenny McLean, I'll take him there. And he said, the cop went, all right. And I said, bollocks. And he said, that's what he said. And he said, but I knew the guy was never going to make it to the police station. And he said, on a Friday night, the police went up. He said, I'll bring him down to the station. He shouted at all the doormen. It's like, I think there's 10 doormen. He said, there was 8 outside. He went, all of you in the cloakroom now. And he said, we're all big dudes, powerlifters, rushing up. He said, we all walked in like kids and we're all lined up with our hands in the cloakroom there. And he said, no doorman on the door now. He just went, all of you in the cloakroom. So we're all lined up in the doorman. And he was just walking up and down silent. And we're all just thinking, he said, and I'm going to him, and I'm winding him up going, and you're all adults. And he goes, yeah, we can do it. You just got to stand there and take it. And he said, he's walking up and down the line, silent, going, I'm Lenny McLean, I'm the hardest bastard here. And then he just laid into the doorman. This big, he knocked the hell out of him. And he said, and the guy he hit him, knocked him out, and hit him again, it woke him up. And the guy was a power lifter. He said, about 6'5", big Russian guy. And he said, Lenny was trying to bite him. And he was just checking. He said, when the guy ran out, he ripped the leather jacket in two. Like his leather jacket ripped off him as he ran out. Yeah. He said he saw the doorman years ago. He said, he was embarrassed. I saw him in Tesco. I said, all right. And he went, and he sort of ran out the door. He said, the guy was massive. He said, if he hadn't been a power lifter, he would have eaten his face. He was trying to bite him. I thought, fuck. He said, it's the only time I thought about leaving.
Yeah, I find
that was security. One night in Soho.
Back in the day, it was Soho, the security. It was obviously, I think it was like, maybe it's a free-for-all, because now you go somewhere, you notice they've got the
bag. Forget there was no bags then. Yeah.
And like their little band
I feel like bouncers used to get away with
they did,
much
because back
stuff,
in the day, and you'd always find you'd try and get a knock tonight. And
I remember reading stories about bouncers in Brixton, because I'd go out in Brixton as well. And they would be on the news and stuff afterwards. And there was one guy, he was like on the run. he was like the regular guy we'd see there every weekend.
You'll find that they employ people that
I knew a guy, not kidding you, he killed somebody on the way and turned up to work with blood on his shirt. He had like a road rage thing.
I remember going to a club inside, I can't remember when it was a few years ago, and the doorman must have seen me from a distance, and for some reason he's gone, no T-shirts, no trainers, because I had a T-shirt on. So I thought, I'm not going to go up to him now, am I? So I had to go home, come back, put just a T-shirt with a collar on, and put a pair of shoes on. And obviously I've got him, but he was still a little bit, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think... I don't know.
Yeah, because I remember saying to him, how did Lenny have a badge? And he went, yeah, he didn't put that on. He said he never did the course. He just gave somebody some money and put it on. None of them did. Because I did door work for 15 years, and as I came in, the badge came in. But like one council, you wouldn't.
Where did you work?
Everywhere. It's like that was my job for 15 years.
London?
Yeah, everywhere. Covent Garden, everywhere. But it's like pubs and stuff. All the places I was too stupid to realise that. Don't just go and work at random places like pubs and things out in Essex on your own and I don't want to get into all that. But yeah, so he used to tell me story after story after story at Lenny. I'll tell you like there's one, like, because I could go on all night, but I don't want to talk about this. It's only good, it's in London, but there was do you remember, I don't know if they still do it, but you remember you used to have the trolleys with sausages on all at night.
Oh, yeah, they're
I don't know if they're health and safety.
They're not allowed now.
Yeah, you can't get that.
Clamped down. You get a few knocking about, but apparently the health and safety and the food hygiene.
Lenny had, I think his cousin was called Bottlenose Johnny. We used to work on the door. He was a slim guy, but he was a boxer.
Yeah.
And they were out there one night. So it was him, Bottlenose Johnny, and some other fella. And somebody had the one of those trolleys, yeah. And the smoke was going up towards the Hippodrome doors. It's through the week.
Yeah.
And so this, I think he's called Bottlenose Johnny. He was a loon himself. He kept telling, like, get that bloody thing away from the door. And the guy went away. Then he come back to smoke. And he said he got pissed off and he just ran over and he kicked the bloody thing. And it just went bouncing off down the road and tipped off. I think they were Albanian at the time. And the guy was sort of screaming at me and all these words and all that. And anyway, he said, and it's a weekday, so I just stood out there. He said about 3 hours later, Lenny's now coming out. He's just having a fag and they're talking. And he says the little guy that kicked the thing over, he comes out of Leicester Square station and he's sort of screaming and pointing like at the club, the front door of the club. So Johnny said to Lenny, like, oh, that's this little bastard from earlier. I kicked this thing over. And he said, and then you could see from inside the Leicester Square, a head coming up the stairs. So he said, this guy must have been about 6'8", 6'9". He said, had a suit on, big Albanian guy. He come up and he sort of, then the guy was going, now these bastards, no, whatever. And Lenny was sort of just looking at him and we were sort of thinking, Lenny, you better do something here. And he said, Lenny's just sitting there. And he said, at the corner I can just see, he takes the drag and he flicks his fag. And he said he walks straight towards the guy, straight into the road. He said one of the cars on the left-hand side went up the curb around him. Lenny just walked up to him. And Lenny was about 6'2". And he said he was at his chest. And he just put his fist up and his head is touching his chest like that, rolled up. And the guy stood there for about 5 seconds and then just turned around and went back down. He said he walked into the bloody road. The car went up the curb. He didn't give a shit. He just walked straight up to the guy and just stood there with his fist touching him, like ready to go. And I thought, and that's some of the ones I can tell you. Did you ever go in the Hippodrome then?
No.
How does the moving thing?
I don't know. I know there was a moving dance floor in there.
Is
I
it
don't
safe?
know.
I mean,
well, it was only moving a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So Dave, you work a lot of evenings and like late nights. So how are you getting the balance sort of day to day with work? Because I'm guessing maybe gigs at the big festival would be really good because you've got a daytime gig opposed to being in the nighttime all the time.
Yeah, daytime, obviously, but I was up in the morning early to prepare. Then obviously the gig was an afternoon, but then I had gigs in the evening. Oh. So they were long days. Okay. I won't lie, I was actually cream cracked.
Okay. So
but you're running on adrenaline and you're up for it, you're full on, you just, do you know what I mean? This gig, running from this gig to that gig and do you know what I mean? And if you get the crowd and you can work the crowd, you're on to a winner.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got to work the crowd.
I would have thought it would have just been like a daytime one, so you kind of have your
No, there was I did some in the day and then I'd done some in the evening. Then I'd go back and then someone would text me, oh, can you come back? And I'd go back. But yeah.
So you needed a few days to recover after
that.
I
mean, I lay in bed all day yesterday.
Well, did you have jobs before the DJing or did it happen young enough that you just started DJing?
Well, I'd done an apprenticeship when I left school. I'm actually a welder by trade.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Qualified.
So you
can.
City and Guilds.
Do you still do well?
No.
Oh, okay.
You look at a green dot.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's a green dot. Yeah, it's hard work.
Did you have any jobs before the DJing then? Tesco's, nothing?
No, nothing. Oh, I worked at B-Jam. If anyone remembers B-Jam.
What was it? B-Jam?
So B-Jam and then
spelled how?
Was it B-E-J-A-M?
B-Jam.
So B-Jam.
Jams?
B-Jams, yeah. So B-Jam was the original frozen food supermarket. Yeah. Then Iceland came and took them over.
Okay.
Right.
So that's Iceland. So all the Icelands you see are mostly, they're not being built new. They're the part of the...
7-Eleven. Do you remember Circle K?
I remember 7-Eleven. There's one in Crouch End. 7-Eleven.
Is it still a 7-Eleven?
No, there was
okay,
one
yeah.
back then. But yeah, I worked at BJ when I left school.
Oh, okay.
Worked there for a while.
And that was, so you didn't have any major career things?
No, all it was then I'd done an apprenticeship to be a welder, and then I got the City and Guilds 398.
So the music, was that there from teenage years?
Yeah, I just love it. We were in my mate's house. He had a Pioneer stack, the old Pioneer stacks, or a Sony stack, and we used to he had a rubber band in there, so you had to be careful when you wanted to tee up the track because you'd stretch the rubber band, and you'd just to play records. And we'd try and mix one record to another, but then you needed the 1210 techniques or the 1200s.
1210s, yeah.
Do you still have vinyls?
I've still got loads of vinyl.
Yeah,
I did something not long ago in my little studio at home. I set up the actual vinyls and done something. I hadn't done it for a while, but I still had it.
It probably doesn't happen very
Look
often.
on my Insta, it's troll back, you can see it, and I was actually getting really into it.
Is it like nostalgic?
Yeah, you just got into it and you just find out, and you know what works as well, because some tracks you think that might not work, but then it's all about pitch control and obviously beat matching. That's all you've got. Whereas the CDJs, you're looking at the BPMs, the beats per minute. You've got the numbers, and whereas on your techniques, you're pushing it up, and you've then got to push it around your finger, or you turn the bit in the middle like that. You push it, give it a bit of guide, bring the pitch control up or down, get it matched. Yeah, and then you can.
So when you're not at work, do you still do the mixing?
Oh yeah, I still do. Yeah, I
do.
do.
Still enjoy
it. I just feel you need to do it because there's so much to learn on the CDJs and your stuff. There's so much you can do. I mean, there's loads more I've still got to learn, but you want to still do your sound effects and your bits and pieces, so you can basically not just transferring from one to another. Maybe put an effect in there, make it sound more appetizing, make it sound more, let's get the crowd moving.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you're really passionate.
Oh, I'm proper passionate.
Even when you're not working, you're kind of working.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
You're learning new things.
Yeah, exactly.
And mixing new tracks.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
What are the go-to decks? What are the two main big decks that everybody uses?
So it's the Pioneer.
Yeah.
So you got Pioneer CDJ free. There was Pioneer in the last 10, 15 years. There was Pioneer. Most people got Pioneer 2000 Nexus, which they're not touchscreen. If you go to Nexus 2, they got touchscreen. And if you go to the 3000, they're a little bit bigger. They do more tricks and flicks. Right. But the problem with that is when COVID hit, there was a waiting list. And you had to be on the waiting list. Right. And then it was a 5-year waiting list.
Jesus Christ.
So basically it was a non-stop.
But by the time you get to the end, isn't there a new piece of equipment?
Well, I know someone that made a phone call and got the whole setup. I ain't saying his name, the whole setup.
And they still use, what's it called, a stylus? Is that what's the end piece?
Yeah, they call it a
cartridge.
on the
record player.
Yeah, it's a cartridge or a stylus.
So I worked at one of the first cash converters that ever, I think the second cash converters, like 25 years ago, and I didn't know nothing about record players, and they'd come in and go, oh yeah, that bit at the end's worth like 400 quid. Hey, that little thing that goes on the record player.
Really. I mean, on my CD, on my 1210s at home, I've just got a normal cartridge that comes standard with it. Because when I used to work in the Groucho, when we did our sets up wherever he was, if it was upstairs, it was a wooden floor, so people would and the record would jump.
Yeah, my friend who died, I speak to his cousin, and he said he was one of them from that era of waiting to save money for the weekend. You get your brown paper envelope and you go to the record shop, and then you get the record, and then your mates want to borrow it and you won't let him borrow. He said we'd have to go around his house and listen to the music, but he would not allow anyone to stand on the floor when the record was playing. You had to get on the bed because the feet.
When we had it in the club, me and my mate, we had it sussed in the end. We'd go straight in, we'd put the 1210s on some sort of, because it wasn't a table then, it was just anything high, you need it high. Anything low, you're going to do your backing, you're bending down. And then we used to go and find cushions. We'd put the record player or the 1210 was in a flight box, and it'd rest on a nice fat cushion. And then if that didn't work,
the shaking.
And then if that didn't work, we would have gone 5p, 2p, little bit of sellotape just on top of the cartridge.
What does that do?
We'll keep the weight.
Oh,
you've got the balance at the back, but we'll just do that to give it a bit more, because we want the balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got the weights at the back to do it. When we do that, and then if people jumped about, it wouldn't jump. Brilliant.
Go on.
I was going to say, do you DJ mostly on your own, or do you like to do a set with anyone else?
I call it a solo. I do a lot of solo, and I will do a back-to-back with someone, and it depends on what format they want.
Yeah.
Some people want to do a back-to-back and they might want to do 15 or 20 minutes. I don't like that. If you can get someone you can link with and connect with, you could do a back-to-back and you can do 2 songs each or 1 song each.
Yeah.
And then you can, if they're on the same genre as you, in the same page as you, you can then work off of that person. So he can play a track, and then you think, well, he's on the same genre as me, I can then work with that one. Or if I work with somebody who don't play the same genre, it's a little bit of a challenge because when you play, if they're playing something totally out of my remit, I'll just think, do you know what? I'll find something that I can beat match that, and and I'll say, you do your thing, I'll just follow what you do.
Well, that's good.
And I'll just what they want to do. So they might want to play something a bit faster, maybe. I'm usually 120, 125 beats per minute. They might want to do 130. I've got stuff that can cover that. So I don't want to put pressure because it'll get complicated. They play their stuff, I play mine, and then it can, you know what I mean?
Have you had any collaborations that haven't worked? Where they're just not, they're not on your page, you're not on their page?
But no, it's been, do you know what? Yeah. From what I can remember, they've all been okay.
They've all been good.
Because when me and my mate used to do it together, we'd both take our record bags. He would have his record bag, he'd have two, I'd have two. And then we knew roughly what would work. And then I'd pull something out, I'd go, I'll play this, because he might have it as well.
Yeah.
So it'd work. But I think the only way it wouldn't work is if the genre's completely different.
Yeah.
Then it ain't going to work.
Because I've seen that you've DJ'd with some celebrities, and I wonder, do they know their stuff, or is it a bit of a, I've got my pre-recorded
I know a little bit, but I've got my
set that I'm going to just plug in
Are you
and be like,
Are you going to name the celebrity that you...
No. I've always thought that. I've always wondered when they've got about 10 different titles plus DJ. I'm like, do they know
most of them, the ones I DJ with, know their stuff.
Okay.
And they'll do their stuff. I know it, because if they're going to work with me, I tell them, we don't do laptop. We don't do CD if they're going to turn, because some of the CDJs do CD. I say, I want you to download your USB on the format of record box. So you're the same as me. So when you plug it into the CDJ, we're going to get the wave bands and we're going to get all the same software. So we work with the same software. And most of them will do their homework and they'll come back and then, and it works.
Okay, so it's not smoke and mirrors.
No,
it's
not
real.
smoke. No, they're good at what they do. No,
I used to work at a club and they'd have DJs in, like they'd private hired and get the specific, we'd see the flyers up, DJ so-and-so and MC so-and-so. And they were always fighting amongst themselves because they'd all come in with a group around them, like 5, 10 more people.
Like groupies?
Yeah, they're mates.
And you go to that bar, is it bar one, Be@1?
Be@1?
If you go in Soho or any of them, they work on a format of a laptop. But it's not a DJ, it's the bar staff that program. They just push a button and they have a playlist. They have different playlists and they just play off a playlist.
That's what I was
and
wondering.
it's really loud, so it sounds like a DJ, but there's no DJ in there. And they've got to work on formats and different genres for each day of the week, because obviously that place is like, I think it's a music every night of the week.
Yeah.
I mean, and they work on a format where they're told what to play. Because I went in one day years ago when I was sort of like trying to get back into it, and I just said DJs, and they said, and then she pointed beyond the bar.
That's the DJ.
And that's the DJ, and then we just work on this format. We can't.
So Be@1 don't have DJs.
No,
they literally just have playlists.
That was the last some years ago, but it's just a playlist, and they've got to work on some sort of genre for the certain night that they play. I mean, if you go down, is it Greek Street, Son or Thrift Street? Be@1, it's mobbed, absolutely
they're
mobbed.
always busy.
Yeah,
they are,
mental.
and they're quite competitive. Like, it's going to cost an arm and a leg.
Well, the private nights, when you'd have the promoter, because every person that comes in is cash. They couldn't care about the club licensing, nothing. So they were the worst ones, because I worked at some places and the promoter wouldn't come outside because he was so scared. Like, he'd have people come from up north for these big, like Pure Silk and Sweet Harmony that was always grief, and there'd be like £2,500. They'd be squeezing people in. He'd be paying the doorman to squeeze more people, and he'd go, listen, we can only hold like 2003, and there's about 2007 in there, and you can't walk through the crowd. That's how packed the place is. Like 5 bars, and the DJs would come in, and they'd have be like 15 people with them, and then they'd have to get off, but then they don't want to get off, and then the new lot turn up. And you'd have brawls amongst the DJs.
Yes.
The private nights were bloody horrendous. I knew there was one, I think it was Sweet Harmony, so they're like R&B, garage, but like the lower end, the worst. And the DJ, so they're mostly black crowds, but they had a white DJ, and he had a black girlfriend. And he came in, and the doorman used to say to people that would come in, so I was like, are you sure you want to come in? Like, just have to tell people, because they don't get spat on and all that the whole way through. Like, you'd have to say, you sure you want to come in at the night? And he turned up, and he had it, and I thought, I've got to see the problem, because he's now a DJ, so now you can see him, and you got all these people there. At the end, and he was going out, he had an estate car, like a Volvo estate, and the whole back was full of his records and equipment. So something happened. There was a fight. People started throwing stuff, and because it was a lovely club, we shared a complex with B&Q. Uh-huh. So there was plenty of wood and bricks that people had left outside next to the club in the same car park. So that all got used. Anyway, a 2x4 went through his window when he was trying to figure out how to get out because there's so many people outside. It was ridiculous. Because there's all people that couldn't get in. There was more people outside trying at the end of the night. So you couldn't see how to get out because you had to go a weird way to get out, and he couldn't get out. And then everybody started attacking his car.
Where was this?
I don't want to say, but it was in North London.
Oh.
It was a big super club.
I know it is.
But he couldn't get out.
I'll tell you later.
It wasn't you, was it?
No, it wasn't me, I know.
And he couldn't get out, and they were all smashing his car up. In the end, he nearly rammed because he was trying to get out, just trying to get out the car. And he jumped out and he ran into the club and just left the doors open. Everyone just jumped into the car, took it, including one of the doormen, ripped his TV radio out and stuck it under his jacket. I mean, that's what the doormen were like. And they just hollowed out his car. Everything was gone, all his records, everything. I thought, I didn't want to say, I told you I'm not going to come here tonight. But it was, that was the sort of clue.
I find as well, some club, when I worked at Titanic, it was because when you go through, even now, there's always a club in Soho or anywhere. It's the place to be, isn't it? There's a club, you all know a club. Everyone's got to go there.
What's the place to be now?
Trying to think, where would it be now? I don't know.
It's only main
do you know
ones.
what? I think now there's not a club. I think they're all in it. Let's go ministry, let's go fabric. Do you know what I mean? Before there was always one you'd go to. Like Titanic was the one, and all of a sudden, when I DJ'd there, they actually made it like the Titanic. So the dance floor was behind me, so you didn't know what was going on. The front of me was the restaurant and the bar, and it looked like it was like the Titanic.
Why is it behind you?
Because because I'm sailing the ship, and I'm that's how, and it was.
Does it work or does it not work?
And it was, it worked, and it used to be absolutely banged out, and all of a sudden, they started overloading it.
Right.
And they went over their capacity, and then Westminster came in.
You can't mess about,
and
mate.
that was it.
Shut them down.
They didn't shut them down. They just told. I remember going there one night, and I looked around. I went, "Where's everyone?" They went, "We can only have like 120 people in. That includes dance floor and restaurant." And then it just killed it. Then that was it. That finished.
So I remember in Watford, I was still there when they started to get heavy with stuff. Probably about 15 years ago, that licensing thing really started kicking.
Yeah, they kick it in.
And it was anything. And then they started tightening up with how many times you could call an ambulance, how many times you could call the police. And if it showed up, when it came to renew your license, they'd look at that. But they were just waiting to turn it into flats because they just didn't want the grief of having to police it all the time.
Yeah.
I remember working at one pub. And the guy didn't have any much more on his license because it was a pub on a council estate out in Hertfordshire, right in the end. And somebody said, "Do you want to go and work at this place tonight?" And I was so young, I was like, "Yeah, whatever." Not thinking why he turned it down, and I turned up there. Anyway, I won't go into it. But he said the landlord literally sat me. There was another doorman turned up from somewhere, and he went, "Listen, I can't really do much with my license. I'm in trouble here." He said, "So I'll call an ambulance, but I'm not calling the police. So whatever happens, if you're down and you're out, I'll call an ambulance, and they'll have to call the police, but I'm not calling the police. I can't. So you'll have to just deal with whatever deals with." But it turned, they got stuck up the night before. Some bloke had come out of jail that lived on the council estate and made them give him drink the whole night. And he said, "I'm coming back tomorrow," which is why we got security. So I walked into that and it did sort of kick off. But just so I didn't let me turn up, I'll call the ambulance while I'm calling the police. But yeah, so I think they've half sort of weaned all that out now because all that's gone. So you have just got safe places.
In Golden Square, you got... I think it was what's a radio station in the corner?
Is that Golden Square over there?
Yeah, just in there.
That's
so what Upper James Street.
I thought that was Soho Square.
So there's a radio station in
there. What I don't know if it's still there's media, but it used to be Virgin. No, was it Virgin? It was one of the radio stations in the corner. But the other side was a Pizza Express, and there was a door on the left. You went down the stairs, and that was the place on a Thursday night. Cabaret Club.
Cabaret.
That was the place because there was a Cabaret Club on Bond Street.
Is it closed?
It closed years ago, but that was the place to go.
Okay.
But with the doorman there's only ever one or two on the door. That was your lot. And it was just, it was, and for Soho back in the 90s, you'd think you'd need more doormen and obviously, but it was always just mellow. It was just, and that was a place you go in there on a Thursday. That was a night who's who, as in, when I remember walking in there seeing Cilla Black, Kylie Minogue in there one night.
So all the celebrities come out on a Thursday, do they?
Yeah, back in the day, I don't know about now, but yeah, that was a place to go like then. There was only ever one or two doormen there. It was really relaxed and there was never any trouble. You would have the paparazzi outside. They'd always be hanging about outside. And used to get them hanging outside the Groucho as well.
Oh, do you have a favourite celebrity that you've met?
Didn't you bump into, I saw a photograph of you and Oasis fella. What was his name?
That was
Noel
today.
Gallagher,
yeah, he used to Noel Gallagher.
What was that? Was that just in the street? Bumped into?
In the street, yeah.
Hampstead. You're always fun.
Actually, where was that? Not Belsize Park. Near Paddington. Little Venice.
Oh, Little Venice.
Oh, right.
That's on my bucket list.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, well, I mean, just to see it, because I think it's from Warwick Avenue to
It goes,
Camden.
yeah,
is that
well,
right?
so, yeah.
Oh,
on
that
the-
far.
Yeah, it's like a
right.
little riverboat that you can get just in that
Oh,
direction.
okay. What were you doing down there? Just shopping or whatnot?
No, just walking about,
Just
minding my business.
What do you do
You
outside?
weren't doing a gig for him, no.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Outside
I
of
do the
music,
play-
what do you do? Anything
do a lot
going
of
on?
cycling.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the Groucho Cycling Club,
Oh, is there a cycling club?
best cycling club in the world.
Right, yeah. What's
Telling ya.
Is this a Sunday thing?
No, it not really. It's just we set up and we organise rides.
Yeah.
So we've done Groucho Club to Bordeaux.
France?
Yep. We did
Yeah.
coast to coast. So that would have been from New Whitehaven
Yeah.
over to Newcastle. We did
Wow.
that. We did.
I feel tired already.
I mean, you're booked into a hotel one
Oh yeah,
night.
we do all that.
Yeah,
And then we
okay.
did.
You do a lot of training for it.
Yeah, I train.
Yeah.
I do spin
Yeah.
class. I go to. Fun enough, I go to at one of the times I went to round the back of Marsham Street near Poland Street. You got the council run swimming pool, the old Victorian swimming pool, and next to that used to be a gym called H2. Used to do really good spin classes in there. Yeah. Now it's called Top Notch, so I go there now. And I usually train for it if we've got something planned out. We do rides in Surrey and that. We did a 100-mile ride not like a while ago. I've been so busy, I haven't really done much with them recently, but that's a good little.
How often do you do it? Is it once a month at least?
Try to.
Okay.
Try to do once a month.
Quite
But
a lot.
we got a few good cyclists in our little gang.
Right. Is there any money involved?
No.
No incentive to make it?
No,
just for the fun?
Just the fun. And it's just the members from the Groucho. We all just
Right.
turned up, signed up, and then great gang.
What other sort of groups have they got going on then?
There was a snooker club.
Oh, okay, right.
There
yeah.
was-
They still do snooker in there.
Yeah, there was a snooker club. What else was there? Cycling, golf club. I done golf club with them. I did that.
Where'd you go golf?
Yeah,
though?
where
Oh, that depends. They organise an event, so we did one in Surrey
Oh, yeah. that's
last
the one.
time.
Yeah.
But my main passion is obviously the cycling.
Fishing?
No, it's not fishing. No.
I just
Fishing
spoke to
next.
somebody recently. I had no idea that you're not allowed to keep the fish in this country. You have to throw it
Catch
back
and
in.
release, they call it.
Not every.
Not everywhere.
Not everywhere.
But there's a limit. You'll pay a fee and it'd be like, I know, £20 catch and release. We only do catch and release. Some of them will say, £30 catch and release, but you can take one. That's how it works. I mean, I just don't see the point. I want to fish
mental.
and I want to take
No,
the fish,
I've,
take it home.
I've been fishing
Fish that
and
way.
I've never caught a fish in my life.
Where did you go?
So sad. I've done fishing abroad, like
Oh, right.
Italy, Fiji.
Oh, sea fishing, out in the sea.
Yeah, you got to do that course fishing for me.
Yeah.
Canals and all
But
that.
when he
I
said
did,
to
I
me,
did
you've
hook
got to
a-
throw
I
it
did
back.
actually hook a small shark.
Oh, right,
There you
yeah.
go.
Like, it got away, so I feel a bit bad about that.
It had
As in,
you on
like,
the
it
leash
still had
rather than.
the-
Do you remember I saw a Louis
Still
Theroux?
had the hook, sorry,
Louis
shark.
Theroux when he was doing the Tiger King, the original. Do you remember the Tiger King?
I don't really.
Yeah.
Okay,
I watched
right. So,
Tiger King.
I don't-
well, it's a Louis Theroux documentary anyway, and he went back
Wait,
to
hold
see
on. Tiger King had his own
yeah
show. So
but
this is a
Louis
different
Theroux
thing.
made a documentary afterwards about the time he met Tiger King fella
Yeah.
years ago as
Oh,
one of his
okay.
documentaries.
Yeah.
And he goes to this guy, and they're all like from the southern states, and they got everything. And he's talking to his fella, and she's got a chimpanzee, and the chimpanzee goes mad and it's spitting, and he's sort of like, "Are they happy?" He goes, "Oh yeah, they love me." And he's going, "No, I don't know, they do." Anyway, this guy comes out as like the end piece of the documentary, and he's got a tiger on the rope or whatever it's a thing. And he's going to this guy, and he's clearly nuts anyway, but he spent the day with him. He's got his own house zoo and all that. Comes out the tiger, and he's petting it, the tiger's there. And Louis Theroux, thinking common sense, he's got a production crew, and he's going, "Look, is this safe? We're just going to stand back here." And he's going, no, it's fine. He goes, "Look, I prefer to stand back." And he went, "How much does that weigh?" And he went, "About," I can't remember, it was like 350 pounds or something, more than that. He went, "How much do you weigh?" He said, "About 180. He said, "So hasn't the tiger got you on the leash?" And that sort of realisation of like, if that goes, that outweighs you by 4. There's nothing else. But there was one with he had the same family, and he had the chimpanzee, and they let it out. She went, "No, it'd be fine." And it went meant when it ran towards them, and they locked themselves in, and it smashed the windows. And it's like, these people are not.
Disease are lethal.
Yeah, that's why most people won't work with them, because they're just too dangerous. It's like the one that killed the woman or ripped her face off and all that. And the thing was on antidepressants.
People have lost arms, faces.
Yeah,
It's in
faces.
southern states. The rules out there, they're so lax that you go. People have got tigers on.
Yeah, they have a lot of wild animals as pets, don't they?
Yeah,
Someone bought a tiger in Harrods, you know that, in the 70s.
yeah, because they used to have a zoo above the
Yeah,
thing,
they bought
didn't
a
they?
tiger.
They had a zoo in Harrods.
Yeah, and
You
then
could
they
see it
bought
on
a
the
tiger
top.
or a lion, and then they nurtured it on the King's Road. And then in the end, it was so big they had to put it in the wild. But then, I think 10 years later, they found it.
Oh, Oh.
So and actually went up, and you think if you look on YouTube, somewhere, and then actually.
Did it recognise them?
Yeah, it did recognise it. It came up and like give them a bear hug and all that.
An animal's an animal.
You'd think, rip the head off or something.
Now they're food. But
exactly. But yeah, a bit.
What? When did they get rid of the zoo? Do you know?
I ain't got.
It would have been before your time, but I remember there's pictures of it, and black and white. You can
Google
see.
it. It'll
You
come
can
up.
Google it later.
Lion from Harrods.
Did you ever go into Harrods? Did you ever pop in?
No.
I went to Harrods as a kid, a long time ago.
Just to look around.
When I
It's
worked
really weird. I had I used to get vouchers for Harrods from like a family friend.
Okay.
When I worked at Jigsaw, DJing and Jigsaw Menswear in Covent Garden, and then we moved to Shuttle, they put another shop facing Liberties on Great Marlborough Street. So I was in that shop for a while, but I used to get really good discount. So, and then had concessions in Selfridges.
Yeah.
I'll just get my clothes from there. And you could have gone to Harrods and that, but it was just Jigsaw. Why would I go anywhere else? I'm getting a good discount.
Yeah, they're looking after you.
They're looking after me. And the rule there was if you're DJing or work there, you wear their clothes.
Oh.
So you go off the peg, take a jacket or
Very
take
nice.
a top, stuff the old label down the back.
And
then
it's
you walk round
yours.
and it's yours.
I worked at a nightclub. This isn't nightclub stories, but there's a club in Walthamstow. I mean, there's only one to be honest, but it was under a dog's track.
We'll Google it.
Yeah, we know that one.
It was a place
I know
where
that one.
it was literally a place where the
Chinos
doorman
and
went
slip-ons.
when they got sacked. They could go and work there. Like so, you had a load of doormen that had all been sacked elsewhere working at this one place. But people used to turn up there, and I, in my stupidity, I said, "Somebody been selling dodgy clothes out here?" Because he's like, you can see the tags on the back of the clothes. And the girl knew, she was a doorman as well, but not there. She went, no, she said, that's the fashion, is to wear the stolen clothes like it's stolen.
Really?
So they can see it. I was like, oh, what?
Get
I was
out.
I was like
Get
25.
out.
I thought I knew everything. I go, no, that's a sort of real low-level style. Of like
I remember leaving a gig and in Leicester Square, there's a club called Home back in the day. Paul Oakenfold used to DJ in there.
Oh,
and we used to go, I remember going up in the lift, the doorman would be in the lift to take you up. And I remember going in there one day and my mate tapped me on the shoulder. What's up? He went, your label. Because I'd left the shop, Jigsaw, from work and I'd still had the jacket. You should have returned it back. But I thought, this is a smart jacket.
Yeah.
That
And
is
the
not
label was
going
hanging
back.
out. Yeah, that went back. Yeah, back in the day.
That club, they didn't have. You have to have enough doormen to open. I think it's 1 per 100 people. You have to have a doorman, or it was, and they couldn't get anybody down there. So they hired a big guy from an extras agency, and they gave him a seat and said he was like a Polish guy, about 6'7", and they just
He
said,
was an extra.
Yeah, he said, just stand there, don't say anything, don't just wear a black t-shirt, don't put nothing on, because you just have to be seen,
Don't
but
answer
don't
any
get
questions.
involved.
Yeah. Oh dear. So Dave, have you got any international gigs or any festivals coming up?
At the minute, the festival season's finished.
Oh, it's a season.
Yeah, it's virtually done now. I did my last one this weekend. So we've got to start really applying October. If you leave it any later, it doesn't seem so. I've got loads to apply for, and I've had a few that have come up to me and interested. I did have one in the States. He was interested. We had a chat, and he kept saying, you're too far, man, you're too far. So I don't know if that's going to work.
Is it good for networking when you go to festivals?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. If you can hit the crowd and work the crowd, without a doubt. And that's what I buzz off. I buzz to work the crowd because I love that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I play a little trick. You get people, obviously, and then they're in the dancing away, and then you always get a few that'll go, let's go. And I'm thinking,
no,
you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I just got to find a banger or something that will drop.
You wait for their legs to do a little
and then they
twitch.
walk out, and next thing you know, they're back in again. And that is it. They're
Yeah.
playing, and then you've got them,
good.
and you keep them, and I love that. I've got to keep them.
Yeah.
So you're looking for the ones on the edge that are like,
you're looking,
not sure.
When you start, you like when I did one of the gigs I did at the festival, the fella come and said to me, right, he said, just do what you got to do, blah, blah. I said, listen, this is how we work. We play some tunes. I said, long as I'm getting a tap of a foot or someone nodding their head or singing to the lyrics, we've got them. I said, I'm telling you, work on that, and then someone will follow. And you'll always get someone come running in because they like that track. And then before you know it, someone running, and it was just mobbed. Yeah. And that was it. And then once you've got them, you've got to hold them.
Yeah.
I won't lie, there is a bit of pressure sometimes because you think, what's next? I've got to find something. And I never pre-plan a gig.
Yeah.
You can't pre-plan.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm going to come and say DJ in this room, and then I've got my USB and I've got all my playlists down. I know what I'm going to do, because I could walk in being told the type of people, but it might not work.
Yeah.
Because the people I was told were here, it's not that type of people.
Yeah.
So you've got to have backup.
You're watching them.
So you've got to watch.
Like.
Yeah. So you've got to know. And it's not anything. The bangers work, but I try to stay away from the bangers, and I try not to do like a commercial. I remember when the Spiller first came out. You know, Spiller.
Is that with Sophie
X?
Yeah.
So when that first came out, I had that on vinyl. I still got it, and it was just an instrumental, no words. And I love that track. I used to play it in Jigsaw and Titanic. I used to love it.
Yeah,
no word, brilliant track. Then all of a sudden, I heard it on the radio with Sophie Ellis-Bextor. And I thought, I ain't playing that no more.
Yeah.
Oh, so you was playing it before?
I was playing it before, yeah, because then obviously they've got, hold on, they put some licks to this.
Yeah.
And then I stopped playing it again. I didn't want to play it. And then I remember getting the original, I was hunting high and low for it, because on a Saturday I'd spend all day, virtually all day on Berwick Street, because all the record shops in there, Sister Ray, Reckless Records, you'd spend all day there, Tower Records, then you go across to HMV. And then me and my mate, we were hunting down Oliver Cheaton, get down Saturday night. We want the original, because my mate played the original in Titanic, and it just dropped, and I thought, I want that. And we found it. Then all of a sudden it went commercial.
Right.
Play it no more.
Want it anymore.
Do DJs have agents?
Sorry?
Do DJs have agents?
I did a little, my mate worked on an agency, and I used to do a bit of work for them, but I never worked directly with
So
them.
there are DJ agents?
There is DJ agents, but I think you're like your David Guetters and things like that, where they'll organise everything for you. Right. People say to me, do you want an agent? Should you get an agent? But I just think to myself,
if you don't need it.
If I don't need it, I can work it myself.
Yeah.
And, if you know what you're doing, it's usually quite...
This might sound a bit antiquated, and I might from the 80s. Do people still ask to play certain records?
Oh, you do get
that.
Somebody
get... I thought it's too complicated now.
Is it annoying when people do that?
Well, it can be, can't it? Because then some people don't realise that and you've got to explain. So I'm playing something, I've got the floor, they'll come and ask for something completely different, whether it be different genre or different...
Just something they like, not thinking.
They like, not thinking. Yeah. And I just say, listen, I'll play your track, but let me tell you something now. That dance floor is going to just... DJ bum scares, my mate calls it. It's game over. They're just going to scarp.
I knew a DJ at a low-level bowling alley. It was terrible. But anyway, he said to me, I remember him saying, he said, they're my editors. He said, I have to keep an eye on who's moving and going out. And if I see him going out and I was going to play that song, I have to skip that and go to the one to get them back in. He said, so they're telling you what they want to...
Some bars, actually, there's a bar in Putney, and it's on the front of DJ, but it says no requests.
Right, yeah.
But I don't... Right. If it works, I'll be polite, and I'll say, and I'll even say if it works from what I plan. Because someone might come and say something that I've got that, and I'll play it.
Yeah.
But if it don't work,
it might already be in your set.
Yeah, exactly. But 9 out of 10, it's not in the set.
I mean, I feel like most people are quite well-meaning, but if you get that all night, it's
I know
like,
you
how
would
are you get.
I remember doing a set in the Groucho once, and he was going on and on about what was it? It was Teardrops, Womack and Womack, and I just started the set. And he kept going on and on. And I thought, mate, I can't play this now because we've got a bill. We can't be dropping this banger yet. Anyway, he had the fit, and he's come up and he started kung fu-ing this. He tried to kung fu the front of the deck. No. He kept coming up. I said, mate, I went, mate, you can't. I can't. You don't get it. It was years. I almost remember it years ago.
And you're trying to shout this information to him.
And I think, mate, I can't because I've got 4 hours here and I can't play the banger at the beginning. I've got to build it and build the room and read the room and work
your
the room.
DJ.
Exactly. And that's what people think sometimes, like you said.
That's
people
right.
can't turn up and they'll say, you got this track, and you look and you go, do you know what I mean?
Someone come Billie Jean on.
Someone come up to you on Saturday at the festival, and they said to me, "You've got to play Vanilla Ice."
Oh Jesus!
Ice Baby.
I've forgotten about that.
And I went, and then his dad come up and says, "Vanilla Ice." I went, "Mate, it's not happening today."
Vanilla Ice.
Not today or any day.
Yeah,
sorry,
that's right.
We can't keep you all happy. Sorry. About
so we'll end on this then. What was the first record you ever bought? Can you remember?
First vinyl. It'd have been something cheesy, wouldn't it? I think it would have been. I remember buying Paul McCartney, the Frog Song.
Go on, give us a bar from that.
Bull.
Oh no!
Bull.
How old were you? Ironically, or no, you bought that?
No, I remember going to get it. Our Price, Breast Record Shop. Anyone knows Our Price?
As an
brilliant.
actual image.
It came out as a little 7-inch.
Like a spitting image song.
No, brilliant. Love that track. The video's really good as well. But Our Price was the place to go to get your vinyl back in the day. You can remember Our Price.
What was the one on the dogs at HMV?
HMV, that was, but I'd always do Our Price for that. Right. And there was another, who else sold records? Was it not W.H. Smith? There was another place that sold records.
W.H. Smith?
No, Woolworths, that was it.
Woolworths? Did they sell records?
Yeah, used to sell records, used to do vinyl. Then they used to do the cassettes and that, but used to love the old Our Price, the Frog Song.
I've actually never heard that song. I'm going to have to listen to it.
Oh, no.
Go for it.
I'm still thinking it can't be what I think it is.
It's in my next set.
It's going to be.
It's in my next set. You could bring it back.
I'll bring it back. I'm going to try and get the house edited remix.
Right. Version. What are you doing today? You're not working tonight or anything?
Nope.
Oh.
Going to go home and chill. Feet up. I'm working on Thursday.
How long did you live in Hampstead for? Is it a recent thing?
about 16 years now.
Oh, Christ. Same place.
But I was in Stoke Newton. I grew up in Stoke Newton on a council estate.
Yeah.
Loved it to bits. Brilliant. Just off of Church Street, just off of Lordship Lane. But yeah.
Lordship Lane, that's where I was born there.
Really?
Tottenham?
No, that's another one.
Oh, okay, right.
Lordship Road, I get mixed up.
Oh, okay, right,
Lordship Lane's N17. I think Lordship Road is N16.
Right,
But I come under N4.
Yeah.
But it was a London Borough, Stoke Newton. But yeah, great days.
Have you got any holidays planned? Do you go on holiday much just to turn off?
No, I've been away a lot.
No, just not.
I've been away Cyprus.
Holidays.
Oh, holiday.
Yeah.
Holidays. Where'd I go? I went to Palma, just been to Palma.
Oh.
That was like a holiday just to chill. But I went bike riding.
Oh, okay.
Cycling. But that was cool.
I'm assuming you got on a
holiday
plane
'cause
first.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But that was cool, yeah, just to chill.
Yeah.
And then Cyprus was working and they always try and fit in something where I can just... But then when I go to farmhouse, it's, you get there and it's a case of, let's get there early and take the facilities and just wind down before the gig.
Do you go to farmhouse quite a lot then?
Once a month usually.
That's not bad.
But it's a good little
It's
gig.
nice
They look
there.
after you. I love
It's
them.
really
They're
good.
good
Yeah.
people. And like the Groucho, good people look after you. I love it. Do you know what I mean?
Anything on the horizon you're thinking of doing in the future? Anything coming up? You doing anything?
Do you have like a dream gig?
I'll take anything really. Obviously, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
No matter, even when you're mixing or DJing, there's always room for
What about
improvement.
Ministry of Sound? Is it sort of locked down, that place, as they've got their...
Because I did Ibiza the other year, and I did a place called Pikes, and that's a really nice bougie hotel, and it's a really nice place, and I love it there. But when I went there, it was got there like day work, day off work. Anyone that invited me to a super club, wasn't interested.
Yeah.
Up in the morning, let's go for a walk, let's go for just to chill. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't interested. Do you know what I mean? To do like the super, and if a super club come along, maybe, but might be too old for that now.
Yeah. Do you ever go to cinema?
Well,
Just a complete change of...
Oh, I go, now and again.
Yeah.
I've been doing the theatre quite a bit recently.
The what? Oh, theatre.
The theatre. I don't watch TV though.
What do you recommend?
I recommend. What did I go and see? I took my daughter to watch something the other week. What did we watch? I watched Wicked, and then we went to watch Hamilton. You've got to go and watch Hamilton.
Oh, I've heard Hamilton.
Go and watch
Saying that,
Hamilton.
I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
Please go and watch
Yeah,
it. It's amazing.
everybody says it's
Please
really
go and
good.
watch it. It is
funny you say
absolutely
that as well.
awesome.
What?
Right,
what-
It's
That's to the
non-stop
list.
rapping music all the way. They've
And it
actually their
works.
dialogue is
Yeah.
singing the song, like singing the words when
And
they're.
it's not naff. It works.
No, mate, honest, straight up, it is the bee's
Yeah,
knees.
it always gets.
You've got
great
to go.
reviews.
You've got honest.
Somebody said to me, I thought, I'm surprised you like that. And he said, no. He said, you got...
No, yeah, Hamilton's a thing. I don't really watch TV or movies. I'm
Yeah.
not really into that. I just
Yeah.
people say, "Did you watch that?" Well, years ago, Pulp Fiction. Not interested. I never watched it. Did you watch? I don't.
What about cinema? You never asked a question.
Oh yeah, sorry. I've been cinema, but I take my daughter sometimes.
Oh, okay. So you don't-
yeah, and I've been. I watch as it goes. I went to watch cinema. Back to the Future. They rerun it
In the film?
in a film. Yeah, the film
I'm
Back
not
to
the
the
theatre.
Future.
Okay.
What about Inside Out? Have you watched that?
No,
Is that a documentary, isn't it? Inside Out?
Sounds like a song.
No, it's a Disney
Inside.
film that
Oh,
you probably
right.
watch with your daughter. I'm not sure how old she
Okay.
is.
she's 16, going on 60.
16? I thought he was talking about a kid.
Can I just highly recommend Inside Out? It's like one of those adult, like the cartoons that it's kind of like it's written for an adult,
Yeah.
but it's got like
Inside
the child
jokes, adult jokes,
Yeah, the
yeah.
child audience.
Yeah.
Amazing. And they've got part 1 and part 2. Trust me, you won't regret it.
To end on just what I said about having a kid and the compliments I was paying you earlier about your age, what did I say before? I'm not even going to say it. What did I say before we started recording about nighttime? People that work at nighttime.
Oh, go on. What?
Yeah, so he was saying that basically was it LA?
Yeah.
People who work at nighttime, they look a bit younger
Yeah.
because they're not out in the sun
got
all
told
the time.
the opposite of, I kept asking, why is everybody walking around with hats and glasses and gloves? She said, because they don't want to squint, because in LA, it gives you lines. And she also said that's why models, they're very all straight-faced, because they know that over time, if you keep laughing and you get lines. And if we said the extreme is somebody from Australia, where they've got quite heavy set lines because they're constantly...
And the sun as well.
Yeah, and so I was saying to her, I said, yeah, if you see people that work only at night throughout their life, they always look younger because they haven't had that thousands of squinting all the time.
See, if I work late, I'll go home, no alarms are set. I just go to bed and my body will tell me when to wake up.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. Just wakes
But
up.
the fact of, like I said, he looks younger. I thought
Proof of
that
the
proof
pudding
of what I
then,
was saying
isn't it?
earlier
Thank
on.
you very much. Compliment.
Because again, I wasn't being funny. When you said 16, I thought, 16? Anyway, Listen, brother, thank you very much for coming
thank
in.
you for having me. Really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for our sponsors, who actually you can buy in Halfords.
Halfords.
What did we talk about? Harrods and Selfridges, both sparkling and still. And you are also the first person I've ever met tonight who drinks sparkling water.
We like to liven up a little bit.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Amazing.
Bye-bye.